I'm going to show you how to create a data table now. Suppose we have a very complicated formula here, and I'm not even going to talk about what it might possibly do. It's just a very complicated formula, and it's got an input. The input here is the y value. 67 goes in. It goes into this very complicated formula. Various things happen, and we get an output. So notice if we change numbers here from 67 to, say, 50, we get a different number. To 2, we get a different number. So we have a variety of different inputs here for the y variable. We get various different outputs, and what we'd like to do is use a data table to create a table that has all of a whole bunch of different values of y and various values of this output value z. So the first thing you want to do is create a column with various values for y. So let's go ahead and do values of y, say from 1 to 2, all the way up to, let's pick a number 50 or something. So let's go on down to 50, autofill down to 50. And the way you do a data table, a one-dimensional data table, is to have some values in a column, and then in the cell to the upper right of that column where I've got it highlighted, we need a formula. Well, we've already got in our very complicated function up here, we've got a very complicated function. We've got an input and we've got an output. So this is the formula that we want to access, and it's very complicated, so we don't want to have to reproduce it in this particular cell. Instead, all we're going to do is just refer to it. So we'll put an equal and then point to the output cell. And now all we do, it's very simple, all we do is we highlight this region. Notice we start above the very first cell that has the column that has the values that we want to substitute in for y. Highlight, including that formula, all the way down to the end of the data. So take just a second here. All right, let's go back up and look at it. Notice I've highlighted this blank cell, this cell that has a formula in it, and then of course the numbers 1 through 50. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on data, and then I'm going to click on data tools, and then I'm going to click on what if analysis, and then I'm going to click on data table. And data table gives us two options here. It has a row input cell and a column input cell. Our data here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 50, is in a column. And so what we want to do is highlight. We want to highlight the cell where this information is supposed to go. So let's look at our model here. This information, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, is supposed to get substituted sequentially into this yellow cell that I've highlighted, the 2. That's the value that I want. That's where I want to replace it. So I'm going to click there. That's C2. Notice that's C2. And when I click OK, what it's going to do, what this data table will do, is it's going to substitute these numbers into this cell, which will then go into this very complicated function and will then give an output here, and the data table will read this output and fill in all of the cells. And so let's click OK, and sure enough, there's our table that has all sorts of different values for z given different values for y.